every DJ kind of starts off as like a party goer or someone that's just getting into electronic music in some way. So, what track or artist got you into electronic music?
I don't think it was one particular artist. I think just being like a child of Detroit, kind of like it's thrust into your world. But I think like before he was even a raver, it was like industrial music and like heavier stuff in high school. And then, yeah, I don't know. I think I started going to raves when I was a junior in high school. So I was probably like 16. And it was just the best in house and techno that you could imagine, and I didn't even understand it at the time.
Yeah.
But I was really obsessed with jungle and electro, so I was kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
Like, there isn't one particular artist. It was just like more a whole movement that I was just like blown away from, like the community like that I didn't know existed. So it was cool.
What brought you into DJing? Like, what was the initial inspiration? Was it the creativity, the dancing, the travel?
I was not wanting to be a DJ. I was like, I'm gonna play guitar. I'm gonna play these instruments, and I'm gonna write music, and I don't want to do what everybody's doing. And then I went to my friend's house, and he had these 2 belt drive turntables on the ground and some records. I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll try it. See what this is all about. And I think it was like a Sade record and a jungle record. Yeah. And I put those 2 together and matched the beats, and then the room got silent and I was like, oh yeah, I think I get it now. I think I like this, because you can create new narratives with these songs, and putting together like a non-typical dance song with a dance record was really exciting. So that had me hooked.
So what is your musical background? Are you self-taught? Did you go to school in any instance for it? Mm-hmm. What instruments do you play since you do live and some analog stuff?
Yeah, I think I am the quintessential jack of all trades, master of nothing in terms of instrumentation. I mean, I started playing the drums when my family left Detroit and moved to the suburbs when I was in the 4th grade. And then I met one of my best friends, Missy Ruffner, and her dad was a drum teacher. And so drums was my first instrument. And started that in the 4th grade. I was obsessed with it. And I'm certain that's what taught me my timing in terms of DJing and things like that. Then I picked up the guitar, took guitar lessons in high school, and then I graduated high school and went to the Recording Institute of Detroit to kind of learn how to record, and that didn't do anything for me because you didn't really touch. I learned from doing. Mm-hmm. I'm not like a manual person like Lisa Non-Compliant. We were just talking about this. She's like, I'm like, no, I have to actually do to remember. Mm. So it didn't do much for me, but yeah, I think honestly, like, I left Detroit in '99 when I was 21, and I moved to Chicago to move in with my friend Ian, who was going to kind of help me learn more about production. That's kind of where it just took off. That's where I started learning. Like, the first piece of gear I learned was the MPC 2000.
So what recent gear have you been playing with? Any favorite gear, like, currently that you're excited about?
Yeah, I mean, I love my Prophet 6, Dave Smith. It's, I just have a desktop module, and I use it. It's just so deep. So I just think that, like, it is an expensive piece of gear, but if there's one thing that if somebody wants a polyphonic synth that can handle bass and pads and things and creating your own synthesis and things like that, that's the one to get, because you can get really deep with it. So I think the Prophet 6 was one of the best investments. And I love my drum machine, TR8S. Again, it's all just tactile. I really like performing on tracks, and that's kind of when you put an energy into something, other people can pick up on that, and I think that's just where the shift ends. Like, the shift happens.
So 2019 has been a very big year for you. You have your Bunker NY EP, which was incredible.
Thank you.
Your live set from their 16th anniversary. You played Ghostly, Sunset Campout, a club called Rhonda. You've been performing quite a bit. Any reflections on the past year that you'd like to share?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was just really a huge shift to join the Bunker. Writing the record and giving it to them, and then having it sell out, just felt very, very good. And that's never happened to me before. So yeah, and also having the Bunker kind of nurture my live performance. So the end of last year, they were talking about, because I had been preparing all of 2018 to start performing live this year. So it was 2018 was just a big learning curve, buying the gear, understanding how I want to do this without the laptop, because with my band, the laptop was the thing that gave us the most issue. So I'm like, I'm not having a laptop. This is going to be all live analog. And that was a huge learning curve, but I'm so glad I put my foot down with that. And then Bunker had the January 5th date this year, and I was like, okay, they asked if I would do it live, and I said, you know what, let's have a date, let's have a solid date for me to dive in. And it was terrifying. The thought was terrifying at first, but I totally needed it, and by the time the date came, I was completely prepared. And the show went really well. It was at Elsewhere, and I was just, I'm like, okay, this is the shift I needed. This is what I should be doing. And then I did Smart Bar, and I came out here and did the Noctuary 2-year anniversary live, and we did Detroit, and we did Berlin, so it's been good. It's been good, the live sets.
So your record, One Man's House, is Another Woman's Techno. Has a very Detroit acid vibe. What's your inspiration behind this record and its symbolic title?
Well, the title track I wrote fucking pissed. It was, Trump era. We're all suffering from the collective trauma of dealing with this. And I put a lot of that energy. I mean, it's the hardest thing I've ever written, by far. And I think that's what I put into that whole record, especially the title track. Yeah. I'm curious what you think the title track means, the name.
I mean, I think it's open to interpretation in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
I find being a female in this scene kind of a big fuck you to some of the limitations that are put on women's growth. Yeah. That the barriers were starting to break down in a lot of ways. I don't know if that's at all.
I mean, I'm not going to define it because I think everybody has their own definition. Because it makes you think, and I think I enjoy when someone has a title that makes me think. So when I thought of that title, I was like, yeah, that's perfectly fit for this.
Open to interpretation in a lot of ways.
Yep.
That's solid. Yeah. So you mentioned recently playing for Noctuary and Sunset Campout, both staples in San Francisco. What are your impressions of San Francisco from those events, or just in general, and things you enjoy about our scene here?
I mean, it's one of my favorite cities to play in. I love this place. The vibe is really great. The people are very warm. It reminds me a lot of the Midwest. Sunset was really incredible, and I love when people can bring kids to festivals, and I also love when people can trip balls at the same festival. You know what I mean? Like,
that marriage is a hard balance.
Yeah, but it was, it felt safe. There was nothing dark about it. It was like a lot of joy. You could tell a lot of joy went into the Sunset. And same with Noctuary. It's like that you guys take a different kind of path to create these safe spaces that is you can just tell how much care is put into it. So I really, really enjoy coming here.
So any big things for 2020? Looking forward, any current releases or projects coming up that you'd like to share or talk about?
Yeah, I can't talk about the things I'm most excited about because I have to wait till they're announced.
Yeah, of course.
But it just feels good to 2020 is lining up, and some tours that are happening in places I've never been is always exciting. And I'm making an EP for Super Rhythm Tracks, which is Jerome Hill's label, and it's one of my favorite labels. And him and I are going to be working on music together, and I'm working with Posthuman on doing stuff for Balkan Vinyl, and he feels like my Acid family. Like he's like I played the I Love Acid party in London, Pickle Factory, like 3 months ago, and they just won the DJ Mag Best of Britain.
Oh, that's cool.
Last night. So I'll be doing more shows with him, and yeah, I have a record coming out on 2MR, which is Mike Simonetti label, which is more experimental acid, and almost like I ended up doing the film score for a short piece that I turned into a track for this EP. It's just like letting me spread my wings a little bit in terms of like, I don't want to be stuck in a box. I don't want someone to expect this is what you're going to get from me, because you just don't know. I'm not going to be just putting out one type of thing. I never have. I've always loved all types of music, so many types of music. And this EP, it's a little scary because it's different. And when you put yourself out there, it's always scary. But I'm excited. It's a 5-track EP. That's done. And I'll start thinking about writing an album. Next year I'm going to probably get going on you only get one debut album, so I'm really taking my time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, so I might have to release a bunch more EPs, but I really want to merge the dance, the acid, the trip hop, the lush, depressing shit. That's all going to go on one record. So I just need to work on how that works cohesively in one space.
So it sounds like you creating music is a lot, very therapeutic.
Yeah, I would like to think so, yeah. I mean, it definitely helps me and hopefully helps others, you know. There's definitely, like, if I'm putting in energy of being super angry about Trump in One Man's House, and I play that, and people on the dance floor can feel that and can work out and channel their anger about what we're going through on the dance floor, that's healing.
Yeah.
They're not going to go and put their fist through a wall and move the anger that way. Like, we're all angry, and, like, anger is sacred. It's human, and we need to figure out how to exist with it and put it in the right places in a healthy way. And I feel like the dance floor, for me, it's production and it's dancing.
Mm-hmm.
So if other people can pick up off of that, then it's the most gratifying thing.
Yeah. Perfect. Awesome.
That's
Thanks.
good. Easy.
Yeah. It's not as bad as it like it feels like it's gonna be. Yeah.
That's
Awesome.
cool.
Yeah. Thank you.
You hit record, right?
Yeah. I know. All right. That's the first take. We got 3 more.
Yeah.
So favorite story from
Okay.
touring with Fisher Spoon.
So yeah, I think what I'm thinking of now is when, is in San Francisco.
Okay, cool.
Now that I think about it, we took a flight over here, and I remember like this was the time where like I had like something for airplanes. I don't know if it was Xanax or something, and to sleep on the plane.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever, we get to San Francisco, and I think my computer dies, and I'm going through hell before having the Love Festival here.
Oh, yeah.
So this was a massive show, and my hard drive dies, and I have to get all this other music downloaded before we go on, and it's like to the last minute, and we're just like drinking champagne and like getting all this ready. Then we hit the stage, we're able to perform, and it's great. And then, but we're both fucked up. Okay, so he leans over and he goes, "Who's playing after us? Is it Danger Mouse?" And I'm like, yeah, it's Danger Mouse. So he gets this whole stadium to start chanting, "Danger Mouse, Danger Mouse, Danger Mouse." And who's next? Dead Mouse.
Oh my god.
So we're just like doing the thing, and then the music, and all of a sudden the music starts coming down, and we're like, what? And we're just like that, we're like, and then out comes the fucking ugly ass mouse head, and we're like, oh shit, let's get out of here. So the music is off, and we just like run off stage. That dude was so mad. And we were supposed to take a car together to the airport the next day, and he definitely was like, I'm not getting in the car with them. He was like, I'm not. And Casey wanted to apologize. No, fair enough.